Hi, my name is Neil Thrussell,
And my name is Jamie Adamchuk.
and we're so pleased and excited to have Simon Jordan from across the pond. Welcome, Simon.
Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here. It's brilliant.
So, I've been a friend on Facebook with Simon for, I don't know, a year that. But what really intrigued me when Jamie and I were doing this summit on success is here's this man that doesn't appear to be working at all. He's just playing and having fun at all times and doing what he loves. And I'm going, to me, that's success. But then as I discovered a little more about Simon, that yes, he does actually work and it's not all play. So can you just give us a little bit of what is it that you do to pay your bills, Simon?
Well, I run a marketing and branding consultancy from the kitchen table, from here. It's actually, I'm moving in a couple of days' time, and I'll have a proper built office where I'm moving to. Yeah, no, essentially I work with coaches and consultants, help them build their brand internationally, help them grow their business, help them get more engagement online. That's what I do, really. My client coined the phrase end-to-end help for coaches and consultants. So I literally work right from the word go right up to the end result, the marketing strategy, the website, the whole. I'm a trained designer as well, author, speaker, dog walker, sandwich maker. So yeah. So it's me. I've got my PA, and I've got a team of guys in the States who do all the geeky stuff when it comes to web stuff. So that's what I do to keep the wolf from the door. So.
Sweet. So, and that to me was how I saw Simon as very successful, because he was never posting about the drudgery of work, but he was posting on the joys of the life that he has designed. So was this by choice that how you designed this life, or did it just appear?
No, it's how I envisaged for me. I mean, I've been in business now for 8 years. In fact, I mean, I'm 48 now. But I started originally, I went freelance. I was a freelance designer in London when I was 21. No mobile phones then. I worked out of a phone box, portfolio, crazy, brilliant stories. For me, it was all about freedom. I want to love what I'm doing, and it's about freedom. For me, I work to live, not the other way around. I live to work. My clients, I've got a lot of clients all around the globe, so the time zones are very different. But essentially, I work on project basis, whether we're building a new site or I'm doing a complete rebrand or a brand new brand or whatever it is. It's just, I fit it around. I don't take on more clients than that would disrupt my lifestyle. And it just gives me the freedom and the passion to do what I'm doing. And and that then comes through, that energy and that love for what I'm doing comes through, and to work with my clients. And I work with select clients, and they're all a total joy to work with. So I'm incredibly lucky to be able to do that. Yeah.
Sweet, thank you. So I have inadvertently defined success offhandedly for you, but what is your version of success?
To be fully in love with everything. It's not always easy because we have cramp days, but it's not about. I mean, I've had the cars, and one time I had ridiculous two cars, 2 motorbikes, two everything. Just, it was just, and I was chasing the dollar. That's what I was doing. I had all all the gadgets and the stuff like that, and it wasn't making me happy. And I spent a lot of time being stressed and trying to chase clients and trying to earn more money and blah blah, and seeing what other people were doing. And I thought, well, I should be doing that because I thought that's what to do. And I was just making a lot of bad decisions, which didn't. I mean, work to promote yourself in certain ways is great for someone else, but I was sort of doing it, and maybe it wasn't working out for me. And I was lots of failures and stuff, which is good because you don't get success without failures. But I was just constantly stressed and just not good. 6 years ago, I had an aneurysm, which is an enlarged artery. I don't, operation for that. If that had burst, I'd have been dead. Just all down to stress and stuff like that. Not being happy. Health was affected. And I thought, this isn't good. And I was in France for a year. I've been back now in Wales, living in this beautiful farmhouse, lovely part of the country, for over a year and a half now. And just being at that time on my, sorry, Neil, go on.
And as you say, and the pictures I've seen on Facebook, you live in a beautiful location.
Oh, I'm incredibly lucky. It is absolutely a dream location. And where I'm moving to is right up in the mountains, and I've just got the view of the islands in front of me, out across the bay, and behind me I've got the mountains which I run and climb and stuff. But I have envisaged that. I mean, I've looked at what I wanted, and for me, it's about not having lots of stuff. To be honest, I don't want lots of stuff. I'm moving now, and I've gone through my wardrobe and I had 5 suits. I never wear a suit. I mean, look at me, I'm a bloody hippie. I've got rid of. They've all gone to charity. I've got some lovely coats I bought from when I was over in New York. Really nice. I don't wear them. Get rid of them. And so much stuff. And I drive a 7-year-old car. I just don't need that stuff because, I don't have a motorbike anymore. I've still got 3 motorbike helmets, but I do think actually I'd quite like to get a buggy. I'm an old. It's the simple things that I found such pleasure in. I've got two bikes. I've got a road bicycle. I've got a mountain bike. And where I'm living, literally right over the back wall is a trail run. I can go off running into the mountains. That for me is having the ability to be out in Mother Nature and to switch off, to really be connected. That for me is true success. And as going back to love, I think it does all come from love. And I think when you're content, when you have joy, you feel connected, you then realize that, why have I got all this crap? A big TV make me happy. Why have I got all this? It's not about the money in your bank. I get paid very well for my clients, which are great. But I always think, well, what can I then do with that? How can I affect change? How can I, which we'll talk about in a bit. And for me, it's about loving who you are and having the time to appreciate the little things. Like, the meal I'm going to have after this, and maybe the glass of wine. That for me is success, and being centered, being connected, being grounded, and having really good friends. That's important. I don't read the news. I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the news. I switch off from that stuff because it pollutes my head. I don't need to know, really. So yeah, it all comes down to freedom and love, I think, if that makes sense.
Thank you. So to keep you on track and on focused, what is it like? Because you've got this beautiful outside, you look out your window and you can see this beautiful scenery. You're choosing to still make money to support you in a way. What keeps you focused and on track? Of the 4 Ds, desire, dedication, discipline, determination, what one resonates with you the most? If you were to say you or this, what one jumps out to you?
Probably desire, actually, because I desire, I love seeing the change in my clients. They'll come to me and they'll say, right, I've got this idea, and I work intuitively. I never used to, but now I've become more connected. Over the last year, I've really been on like a spiritual path. I've become more tuned in, and I'm very visual. I can immediately see where this is going. I'm working with a client at the moment, and she's come up with an idea, and I've just basically sent her away with a question, and obviously she will then come back. But when we've had a breakthrough, and I get these breakthroughs with my clients, I just think, it's fantastic. And they're all coaches, and I see the fire in their eyes and the passion and being able to do that. So I suppose the desire, maybe it's a slightly different word, but it's the desire to make a difference to my clients, to make a difference on the planet, to know that I've made a difference. So it's that desire for that, really. And for me, it's being about connected to people, to my clients. Even though I live on my own, I've got my dogs and animals and stuff, but it's having that connection to. I'm very much a people person. Even though I'm getting old, I'm becoming a bit more of an introvert, which extrovert, but with an introverted way of life. But it's the desire to see the difference in my clients. I mean, I've worked with a client. Get this. This is probably going to make no financial sense at all. I worked with a client once, and we launched her. It was great, brilliant feedback. And then I think 3 months down the line, I looked at her website and said, "You know what? I think we're going to redo it." And she said, "What?" I said, "Because I've seen this new stuff. I've got some ideas," and we had a chat through it. And I completely redid it. Didn't charge her for it, but it it progressed her business further, because for me, it's all about getting it right. I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, I'd say I'm a fussy bugger. But actually, my client called me a brand Nazi the other day because he did a video wearing a hoodie, and I went, "No, you're not. That's not your brand." So because I really, really care about my clients. I care deeply because they've got such a passion. You know, they work for themselves. They've got that. They've spent a lot of time and energy. So it's my role to bring them to the marketplace, and I do it to the best of the ability I can with all my 26 years in the industry. And I desire for them to be out there doing it, shining incredibly brightly. So yeah, I love that. And then the discipline side of it, I love to set myself challenges. Certainly fitness. I mean, I've just done a half marathon. I don't know if you saw the video, dressed as a superhero.
I did.
Here's a point. If anyone listening to this, if you ever run a race, never wear new gear on the race. Chafing. It's the like, oh, I'm not doing that again. Anyway, no, I set challenges. I'm off to Everest Base Camp in 2 months' time, less than 2 months. So I'm training hard for that. I've got 2 ultra marathons next year. One's a 50 miler, then there's another one. I've got triathlons. I've got an Ironman coming up in 2 years' time. So I see that, and that keeps me mentally fit, as well as physically fit as well. So those challenges, and I then bring that energy, and because I'm feeling good, I then bring that to my clients, my energy. So
that's really
what I know about Simon is, yes, he's a passionate person and he loves to give back. So I'm going to loop back to why you were in a superhero cape in a race.
I can go and put it. No, I won't put it on.
Started a movement, and it just started out as your conception and your idea. But this is the power of movement. When you just throw yourself into it completely, you started a movement called 5 Clear Things.
But 5 things clear, yeah.
5 things clear. And what is 5 things clear?
So essentially, pick up 5 bits of litter a day and inspire other people to do the same, or just if you do it yourself, that's 5 things clear off the planet. Go and recycle them or put them in the bin properly. That's what I mean. So it's essentially, it's an environmental project. That's it. And it was started on the 25th of June, 80 odd days ago now, and it's gone global. You know, we've had people now posting on social media using the hashtag 5. So it's the number 5 things clear, from Japan, Russia, across Africa, all across Europe, States, Canada, pretty much all the corners of the globe. And it's phenomenal. I started probably about a month ago now, 5 things clear challenge, where you pick up 5 things, take a picture or take a video if you feel inclined, post it on social media with the hashtag, and then nominate 5 other people to do the thing. It's like the Ice Bucket Challenge, whereas that was affecting only for one charity. This is going to affect us all. I mean, the plastic in the ocean is just phenomenal. So much water is now contaminated with microplastics, which we can't see. The more I research about it, the more worried I become of we are slowly killing ourselves on our planet. I mean, the microplastics, we're digesting them. You know, if you eat fish, you drinking the water, it's terrible. And that actually is it's affecting us on a DNA level. It's that bad, the micro, because when those little bits of plastic go in the ocean, they attract all these toxins, become highly toxic. Fish eat it, or it goes in the water course. 1.4 billion plastic bottles, single-use plastic bottles, are bought across the globe every single day.
Yes.
That's, you know.
So what keeps you, besides your health, what keeps you energized? To most people would go, you created a movement on Facebook and it's gone global in less than 80 days. What keeps you driven? Like, to me, that's huge success. What keeps you, was it your determination, your discipline, drive? What is it that gets you going there?
Because I'm on the beach every day with my dogs. I'm running in the mountains. I live in nature. You know, I'm surrounded by fields. I don't have any neighbours here, and where I'm moving to, I don't have any neighbours. And I just see the effect. I mean, we've finished the holiday season now, and I see, excuse my French, but the amount of crap that they leave, and they don't seem to care. And I'm working with the local council now. I've got a meeting with the Welsh Wildlife Trust, a big organisation. They've got big funding. They want to partner with me. And we want to make a big difference. I want to leave this planet better than when I arrived. And it's not about me, guys. I mean, to be honest, I don't care. I'm the face of it because it needs a face and it needs a voice and it needs interaction and engagement. But I don't care. It's not about me. I don't want my name in lights. I want the planet. I would love to, but this is the only business, well, it's the first business I've seen that's exploded so quickly. And it will be a charity next year. We're working on that at the moment. But I would love to be able to close it down in 5 years because it's not needed. But I don't think that's actually going to happen. But I'm so passionate about Mother Nature. I do a lot of climbing, and I'm going after base camp, and I know that's a bloody toilet up there. It really is. There's so much litter up there, which I know will freak me out, and I'm going to do some filming up there about that. But I see people climbing the mountains, and I was doing a half marathon the weekend, and I see these people with their gel packs, and they go out running, and they start the race, and off they go, and they're loving the scenery. We're running along the beaches and up the mountains. And yet they get the gel packs, eat it, and chuck it on the floor. And I think, well, if everybody did that, it wouldn't be a nice run. It would be just running through a bit of garbage heap. Why do that? So I'm going to write to all the companies that produce these gel packs to make sure the people who buy them, because they are for outdoor sports, to say, don't dump it on the ground. You can buy these little packs which you wear, they're like little bum bags, if you call them, or fanny packets. I don't know what the name is in the States, where you can actually just contain them. So if you can take them out, you can bring them back. So
Jamie looks like he's wanting to say something.
Jamie, go for it.
Absolutely. One of the things you shared earlier on is the working to live. And I really, really, really love that principle. It seems like a lot of people out in the world, it's, living to work. The work is that primary focus. Yeah. What was that key thing for yourself that empowered you to make that shift, to change onto that pattern of working to live?
Because I saw that my life I wasn't happy. I was depressed. I was in a dark place, and I thought, what am I doing here? What really matters to me? And I was buying more stuff. What's the Buddhist term? I'm misquoting it, or I won't get it right at all. It's about man's problems come from his belongings, or something along those lines. I have to look it up. And I just thought, I've got so much stuff, and that stuff needs to be put somewhere. And I just don't need it. And for me, not many people know this, but a couple of mornings a week or afternoons or whatever, I go and work on a farm. And the farmer thinks I'm completely mad. Even when I'm busy, he's like, "Why there, Simon? Why are you working? I could be mucking out. I could be ploughing a field." Last year, in the torrential rain, I was planting trees, and the rain was so hard it was coming up my trouser legs almost. It was bloody awful. I love it, and it's about giving back. It's about we're doing stuff for nature. I'm building fences, or I've helped calve help the cows give birth, the sheep give birth, all this kind of stuff. And I think, that's real work. Working on a keyboard, on a laptop, it's not really real work. It's not hard work. But when you're out there in the torrential rain or whatever, it's fabulous. So I wanted to be doing more of that, to be honest, Jamie. I wanted to be more connected. And for me to do that, it was meaning me reducing my hours. I mean, not quite close to 4-hour work week, but just being more focused, looking at the clients I'm working with, being more choosy, being more focused. So when I do the work, I get on with it, and that then allows me. I cannot remember the last time I did a full day's work, to be honest, because it's, I'll go down the beach in the morning with my dogs. I'll have a nice leisurely breakfast. I'll have my coffee. I'll do some reading, then I'll do a bit of work, some emails, and I mean I've got some big projects working on at the moment. I'm working with a kids charity up in Scotland, which is going to be phenomenal. That'll be a big project next year and beyond. But it's just how I've designed it, how I've created it in my mind. And I thought, well, these are the things I want to be doing. I want to be spending time out in nature. I want to be training, which means I need time out to run or swim in the sea or whatever for the triathlon. I'm part of a running club, so I go out running with them twice a week when I can. A cycling group as well, so that's on Wednesday mornings. We go out for 3 hours. And I just blocked it in. I literally, on my iPhone, and I write, those are the times I'm going to be out. And I plan my week on a Sunday night. This is what I'm going to do. And that's, I put those things in, things that matter to me. Again, I don't know if I remember this right. You've got your spiritual, family, which is family and friends as well, health, financial, and there's something else as well. And it's just looking at those elements of the wheel of life, or wheel of coaching. What those important. So try and fit those all in. I spend time, my brother works, he's got a very successful hair salon in town. He comes over on a Saturday night, we'll go for a beer, we normally climb, we'll do a long run on Sunday. Monday we'll probably go out for lunch or whatever, which we've done today. And those things are important. Family are important to me. Friends are important to me. So allowing time and just working around that. And to be honest, it's also about surrendering and not being scared. Oh, when's the next good money coming in? I know how much money I need to earn per month. I know how much in the profit and the loss and stuff like that. But ever since I've started to surrender and just say, you know what, it'll be fine. The house that I'm moving into, that was from just surrendering, going, I know it's going to be fine. And this house has come up and it's absolutely exactly what I wanted. It's beautiful. It's actually 3 properties and I've got all of them on a third of an acre up in the hills, amazing scenery. And that is, to be honest, when I came away from the property, I was in tears. I thought, I can't bloody believe it. It's actually happened. It's
Sweet.
So it's surrendering, knowing that it will be okay, still taking action, still being out there. But this is terrible. I haven't written a blog for about 2 years. I used to do a marketing video every Thursday. But what that is, if you think of the universe as a flow, you're in flow. Think of it as a river, as a metaphor, as a river. This is a good friend of mine, Marianne Campwell. We discussed this, and this is her idea, and I've sort of taken it on board. When you're desperate to try and get new clients, you're pushing. You're pushing for them. But when the universe is in flow and you're in flow, so imagine you're just going down the river and you're in the boat. Everything comes to you. You can just pull them. You just pull them in, and there is no push in the universal flow. It's just pull. And when you're struggling or when you're stressed, stress is because you're worried. Well, what's that normally coming from? Ego. So that's a lot of people. You're battling. You're trying to row upriver, and you're crashing into other boats. Mm-hmm. And you think of that metaphor, you then could be attracting the wrong clients who are going to mess you about, they drain your energy, blah, blah, blah. Whereas if you just actually sit back and relax into it, amazing things happen. And again, coming back to love, when you're loving the path and you're loving the clients, and I don't advertise. Occasionally I'll put a post out. I'm going to try and run an event in October. Next year I'm going to be doing events all over the UK for coaches. But it's that wasn't a plug, by the way. I was just saying. But I'm not. The reason I said that is because I don't promote. I don't go out there and do Facebook advertising. We will look at that because we're working on a different thing for next year. But it's just relaxing. Going, I know it's going to come in. Now it's not a case of just being reckless and actually, well, hang on a minute, you've got to have financial goals and things like that. But it's just knowing that I'm going to continue what I'm doing and I'm going to do everything to the best of my ability with all the complete heart, love and soul, put everything into it. And from that, because you're dedicating yourself to your craft, your work, you're in the right flow. And other vehicles, with the metaphor, other boats will join you. Other clients will be referred to you. I'm working with a lot of clients in Australia at the moment, and it's fantastic. I'm working with new clients. I've got a call with a new client tomorrow. Working with this fantastic charities I talked about, which is just beautiful. I've always raised money for kids charities, and this one's come through, and I'm essentially the marketing director for it. And it's just beautiful. It really is, and it's all about giving back. So it's all surrender, being in flow, being in love, and not fighting it. Not because when you're fighting it, when you're worried, that's coming from ego. So get rid of that crap. Does that answer your question? Well, one day I'll give you a one-word answer, but I waffle. So I do apologize.
What's really great about that is you shared 2 really key components there. First of all was the focus, that directed focus. And the second one is being able to go with the flow, allow the universe to guide us in the proper direction it is. I mean, it makes me think of the saying, where focus goes, energy flows. It's about having that directed focus to understand what it is that you really truly need. Put away aside all the other stuff, all the other garbage. Get your focus clear. Schedule up what's appropriate for you, like you shared to us, and then allow the universe to flow where it's going to flow naturally anyways. To fight against it, what does that get us? That doesn't get us where we need to be. To go with it, to get in that boat and go with the other boats, to allow it to happen. I think there's so much beauty in that.
Thank you. Well, I would highly recommend all your viewers, listeners, whatever, to purchase a book called The Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer. The Surrender Experiment, absolutely beautiful. Just briefly, it's about a guy who's a hippie in his 70s who went off to live in the woods, who just wanted to meditate, and that was it, and then ended up running a multi-billion-dollar company, and it was all from surrendering to life. He wasn't about the money. He just wanted to chill out and just be more connected, and he was. And he basically said yes to all the things that came in, whereas he wanted to say no because his ego was saying, well, hang on a minute, that's going to do this. And he thought, no, I'm just going to say yes and see what happens. And everything was a link to a chain of events, and it's just magical. And ever since I've I'm nowhere near his level, but ever since I've thought, you know what, just go with it, say yes, just feel. And again, when you're centered and you're in love with you, not in the egotistical way, but you get rid of all the peripheral crap and you become grounded, you have a clearer vision, just amazing things happen. You can see them materializing. Just wow. It is, there is no lack of money on the planet. We're all, we say, oh, there's this debt and
Yes.
debt. Well, the money doesn't, we don't owe it to Mars. The money still stays here. It's in flow, and it's about being connected to that. But if you're worried, I need some more clients to come in. Well, where are you coming from? You're coming from a place of lack. Well, that place of lack is a place of fear. Well, what's that fear? That's normally from ego. Or, okay, yeah, I know we need to pay the money and things like that, but there's some kind of break in the flow. How did you get there? That's from anxiety or worry, or I should be doing this, or maybe you've bought something you didn't actually need, so that's why you're in debt or whatever. You see, I flicked on. I don't tend to watch TV. There's a program I watch on a Sunday night called Country File. It's all about the countryside. I love it in farming, so I get my information about that. And I flicked on, as a commercial, one program, and it was a couple, and they were heavily in debt, and they were counting their pennies for the week. And then they panned back, and there was a brand new, great big TV screen and a PlayStation thing. And I thought, well, did you need that? As Jim Rohn would beautifully said once, poor people have big TVs, rich people have big libraries. And I thought, that's true, actually. True. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not here to talk about that.
So if you were to advise a young person, we'll pick a young person, just starting out, what would you advise them for success? What would you say to help them gear towards success?
I would start off with, and this is part of a book. Well, when I finally finish writing, I've got 2 books on the go at the moment. Again, I'm in no rush to finish writing them. There's one about actually cleaning up, and this all came from, so I'll take a few steps back. A number of years ago, I had a detox, and I know you live very healthily, Neil. I've only just met you, so I don't know. So, but you look pretty healthy. But I had a detox, 3-day detox. I had a headache for 2 weeks after that, because that was all the coffee I was having. And I realised, actually, once that headache had gone, it was literally like the clouds had lifted. And this will all make sense in a minute. And I had more clarity in life. I just saw things differently. The colours were brighter. And that was because I realised, actually, I've been putting a lot of crap in my body, a lot of sugars. I had a bit of a sweet tooth. I was too much coffee and all that kind of stuff. So once I got to that place, I could then see everything clearer. So I would say to that young person, well, first of all, let's clean up your headspace. Let's try and get clarity physically as well, because sometimes we make rash decisions because we see other people are doing things. Well, where's that coming from? If you're not connected, if your ego and your heart, you're always thinking from the head, which is the ego. And sometimes, you can't think clearly because you've too much sugar in your body, or too much, you might have got in Canada, you're eating too much bread or whatever, or just don't have, when you've done that detox, it's like, man, it's like someone's lifted a veil from your eyes. It's incredible. I'm not saying everybody needs that. There's a lot of healthy, clean living people out there. But when you get to that space, you make the right decisions. You're more connected. Because sugar, it's how it does with the nervous system. It just, caffeine, it can just mess with your head, as we all know. Sometimes it's a great thing. We all need our coffee at times. So essentially and then look at, well, what do you really want? What really fires you up, and make that connection? What really just thinks, oh, this is just amazing. It just amazes me. I've got a lot of nieces and nephews, and they've all gone off to university and stuff like that. I think, well, and the ones that have left university, none of them are actually working and the jobs they spent time at university studying for. I think, well,
Yes.
maybe you've just gone from university, well, institution to institution, but take some time out, become connected, try and learn some meditation, just get rid of the noise out there, the stuff on social media. People say, oh, here's how to make $1 million in 5 seconds by sitting in your back bedroom with your underpants and laptop kind of nonsense. And you think, oh, I should do this. Hey, I should be doing that because my mate Bobby's doing that. Well, actually, what do you want? What makes a difference to you? And start asking the right questions. The universe is very specific, and it will provide you with exactly what you need. But you need to know what it is you need, what it is you want. So to be connected, this is maybe too deep for some people to get. I don't know. I really don't know. But always be searching. Always, find the films. Try and read the books. Speak to the right people. Watch these brilliant, these interviews that you guys are putting together. So to become connected, to work out where your true passions are, and then follow that path. Get connected with the right people. Just don't make rash decisions because you think, I'm going to do this. Because if you're purely chasing the dollar, sometimes it'll be a sticky ending. I really do. Think of stuff that comes from the heart. Learn how to serve. Ask a question, how can I serve more? Because when you go about in a way of servitude, and I'm not talking about, praying and all that kind of stuff, the money will naturally flow. It really does come from a place of spirit, from heart. And that's
Yes.
That's what I say. Yeah. And stay off the drugs, young man. Yes.
Now you tell me.
No, yeah. Oh no, shocking. He says.
Yeah. So, any final words that you want to throw in there, Jamie? You've been pretty quiet, and I saw you taking notes too. So,
I definitely took a few notes here. What absolutely inspires me, Simon, is that contribution that you just shared with us, being able to come from a place of contribution. I mean, all too often we can get caught up in our own stuff. We're looking at self. Yet when you let that go and look outside that, look at what can I do? How can I make a difference in other people's lives? Your life completely transforms. Things happen. The universe, God, Mother Earth, whatever you want to call it, things flow for you. When you give, when you contribute, your life completely transforms. That's beautiful. I want to honor you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
For sharing.
Thank you. It is. It's so true. And when I was doing all that stuff for me, even doing my marketing videos, yes, I was there. I wanted to add value to the marketplace, but really in return, I was like, oh, come on, more clients, more money. And I was rowing upriver, going back to that metaphor. But when I just went, you know what, I'm just going to sit back and go along with it. I'm still working and serving the best I can. Just a beautiful things happen. You find you'll end up down one side of the river, and it's just fantastic. It's gorgeous.
Sweet. So I want to thank you for taking the time out of your hectic life, running, cycling, farming, occasionally working.
Yeah.
So thank you, Simon, for being part of our 4 Ds of Success video series. So thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys for how you're showing up in the world. The fact that you've done this, you've put this together, because essentially you're adding value to the planet, to the people on the planet. So I want to honor you and how you guys show up, and you're putting this together. You're spending your time and effort, and it's to help people, which is wonderful. So thank you too, both.
So take care.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye now.